I should be going live now, and uh, shoot, I lost my train of thought. What am I doing now? All right, I got that. The YouTube is up. What am I missing? Rita, what am I missing?
Are you live?
That's a good question. Am I live? um,
You sent out the invites or the reminder or whatever.
well, it says that I'm live, but I'm not seeing. Turn on focus and let the source ad for you. Okay, turn it on. Okay, all right, it's working. I gotta check if
YouTube
the
working?
yeah, YouTube seems to be working. Question is if people hear me in the YouTube. So if the YouTube people can let me know, that'll be great. Um, and hey, Fox, welcome.
What's up?
Not much. Gonna talk about T4 nations. That's the topic for today.
I see.
Are you a pro about T4 nations or no?
I never went against one.
Lucky you. You're blessed. Keep up the blessing of not going against them.
Right?
I tell you, it's the worst when you go against a T4 nation, especially during Void. Like, Frenzy, okay, whatever, it's Frenzy, who cares? But Void, you know?
Right. Yeah, I see from your Discord where everyone talks shit about T4 nations.
Hey, we don't talk too much shit about it. It's just the reality. It just sucks. Going against them sucks, okay? I'm just waiting for more people to come in, and then I guess I'll go go into it, I guess. Ugh. I made a cheat sheet with my topics. I got like 4 because it's not that hard, to be honest. Not that hard to defeat them. It's just critical things that need to be done, because if you messed up in one of them, then yeah, it's over. Because the classic thing they'll do is just shield and not even fight. Use their T4 traps,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hello, Mr. Sandman. Let me just boop pin that, and then we pin it that, and the stream is out. Yup, it's out. Go back to Discord. Yeah, it's a little slow one because I came in late and I didn't prep in time. Bad of me. Hey, Evergen. But hey,
Hi.
are you watching now? If the so and so name should not be mentioned joins in, you kick him out.
I'm always ready.
What?
I'm always ready.
You're outside, aren't you?
No.
Oh, it sounded like you were outside. Okay. All right. We'll get into it because time is running and I came in late. My bad. All right. So T4s. So topic is about if you're dealing with T4 nations. We're gonna talk about how to defeat a T4 nation. It may sound easy, not hard, which is not, but there's some critical points that you need to take notes. So the first thing is you need to identify said T4 nation. So obviously you're already doing this whenever you go into Void. You're already identifying who's your enemy and trying to figure out what kind of player they are, what kind of nation it is, right? So the first thing you'll try to do is check if it is a T4 nation. Now, how can you check that? Sometimes some nations they post their reports, and you can check their war chat reports if they did not delete it. So you can check the reports, and if you see there's T4 in that battle, then that pretty much can let you know, oh, this alliance is T4 alliance. So you can check those reports, the past ones. You can also check the rules. Most of them do post rules saying, oh, so alliance need to keep up shield, keep up their T4s, blah, 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 blah. To give you an idea, like, yeah, that's a T4 nation because said so and so alliance are T4s. But it also helps to figure out which alliance, so you avoid those alliances. Majority of the time for these T4 nations, their alliances that is not top 1, top 2, and top 3 sometimes. are all T4. But the worst kind is when top 1, top 2, and top 3 are T4 as well. So you want to avoid those regardless, even though if you're thinking, oh, this is a real alliance, they will fight with real troops, but they may not. They'll use T4s. Because, you know. Anybody want to add to that?
Are we able to keep a running list of all the known T4 nations as of today?
I mean,
And
we
add to it?
could. We could.
Have
We
a
just
master
need.
list for AOZ, you know?
You have a well, when we need somebody to make a master list. I mean, I would think Lumber would be the person to make such a list, but he's been MIA, so gotta find somebody to make a list, you know?
Just a suggestion.
Yeah, it'd be nice to make a list and figure out which nations. But then again, the more they're well known for such tactics, maybe they'll change. But then again, you do want them to change. So, it is a good idea. I'm not gonna lie. It is a good idea to do that. Let's see. I'll go to Point 2. Let's go to point 2. Establish strategy. So once you identified that you are against a T4 nation, you gotta establish the strategy you will use to go against this nation. Obviously, you already, it's void. You already know what to do, but against these T4s, it will all come down to the last 4 phases. You can't expect
Everton, I thought you were ready.
What happened?
Oh,
Anyways, you can't expect to go hard during the kill phase, obviously, because if you're against a T4 nation, you can't expect to fight against real troops and get the points during the kill phase. You have to go hard during the last 4 phases, which is gathering, monster hunting, what was the other one? Recruitment and building. So in those events, you have to go really hard and not wait until the last phase. Because obviously, if you let them get the lead, they're not going to fight. They're just going to stay with their lead and just bubble. And whatever trap you will hit, it's just purely T4 traps. So it's going to be a boring void. Regardless what you will do, it's going to be boring. It's not going to be fun. So let's say you keep up the lead, you have your lead. So now you're forcing them to use their real troops and to fight and find you to get their lead back, you know? You want to force them out of that. So you have to ensure getting a lead. So you have to save up in recruitment or anything that you can do to boost up those last 4 phases. And majority of time, recruitment phase will be the determination of that. 30K. Because in recruitment phase, a lot of points can be gained for recruiting troops. So one thing you can do, you can go off and do that and get buff up in the recruitment phase. However, if the T4 nation uses that event to their advantage to get the lead, you gotta be smart and maybe do a surprise recruitment. I'm not going much into details because, you guys have brains. You can think, you know what I mean. So do a surprise recruitment and get the lead. All right. Anybody wanted to add to that? Are you guys shy? You guys are shy, aren't you? Guess not. Okay. Guess I'm on a roll. All right. Point 3. Once you have ensured the lead, make sure your nation stays bubbled. Or if your nation is the type that, we want to play, no, tell them to bubble. Because they can be easily fooled. Those type of people can be easily fooled by the T4 traps. And once they go into the T4 traps, they will start bleeding points. So just tell the people to bubble. And just wait for people to drop bubbles in the other nation. But sometimes you gotta be careful because those same people that drop the shield could be the ones that, 1 second, could be the ones that could be the T4 trap. So how can you identify a T4 trap? Does anybody want to, give an example?
We'll send Shade in with all his T4s. Nobody know.
Yeah, you can send your whale player with a bunch of T4 troops on him to hit the target. What's another way to know?
Or just port a farm over and scout it.
That's a simple way. Yeah, hybrid fleets Aeon. Yeah. Well, a more clear one is to check the BP. Check the BP. Check the alliance. By BP, I mean the battle power. Check the battle power of the city, and also just stare at it. Yes, the battle power. So the battle power is when you open a profile on a city, and it'll say power, kills, losses. The one that says power, that's the battle power. So if you see it's a C35, if it's a C35, and let's say the battle power is at 15 mil, it's pretty low for a C35. It's more considered to be a farm because that battle power is way too low. And let's say this C35 is in the number 1 alliance, because sometimes they will have such cities. If it's a C35 and it doesn't have a shield, the battle power is super low, and it's on the main alliance, then it's obviously being used as a T4 trap. Because there's players, they see a city, they see a C35, they don't look at some people don't look at the BP, they just see it open. It's open, and they see reinforcements going in. Obviously, people will go at it and hit it, but not realizing that that was a T4 trap. And you want to avoid that because that's how you can bleed and give them points. And somebody wanted to say something?
I was gonna say I have
Mhm.
a C35, but I only have one full fleet, and I'm at 15 mil battle power.
Okay, then I'm
That's
wrong. So it's not 15 mil.
yeah.
But then again, 15 mil, you're at one fleet. You're at one fleet. So you're looking at more at the C35 that have like 5, 6 fleets that they can't hide. You want the fat ones. You want them fat,
Yeah.
You want to hit a fatty. But that my main point is you have to look at the smaller details, the battle power, the reinforcements. If you're not using light mode and you have the game on medium quality, you can see if they're sending Titans, and you can see what kind of troops they're sending. So you can kind of tell what they're sending. And also how many reinforcements are going into that city. If you see like 5, 6, 7 lines, ain't no way that city can hold that many troops. Obviously, it's a T4 trap because they're sending T4s. And many people can fit into that city if it's just T4s instead of real troops. If it's over 2 million, it's a trap. Yeah, depending the city level. Because at different city levels, the BP goes up. And depending on development, BP reading is super critical. Yeah, BP reading is super critical. It's what not majority, but everybody should be using BP reading. Meaning you look at a city, you open the profile, you check the BP, and then you're like, okay, that's a fat one. Or this one is like, this guy has one fleet, so that means you're not gonna hit it just to catch the one fleet when you see a bunch of lines on him. Or you see like, this guy has 4 fleets, and you see 3 lines, and there's you can see the lines or they're using rally, whichever or. But BP reading is critical. It's the way to go in Void or in Frenzy, whichever or. Getting messages. Sorry. What else? Anybody wanted to add to that?
Yeah, sometimes you just kind of have to slow down, because if you look at the when you get to nation here, Ben, when you get to nations like 299, for instance, where everything is a T4 trap, everything that you encounter, you can't really read the BP anymore, because that's when you're going to get like C38s with 60 something million BP that are still C4 traps.
Yeah.
C4 traps.
You're correct.
So everybody says read the BP, and like that's great for normal nations, but like that doesn't always work. But like if you slow down, like if you hit attack, for instance, and you take 2 seconds to look at the battle log, a lot of times you can already see it, because like if you hit attack and then you look at the battle log, you can already see if there's like 6, reinforcements or something already stacked up in it. Um, so like a lot of times that's what we have to do when we have like when we find alliances that are heavy T4s.
Mm.
Even though like especially our alliance, we like to kind of speed, but when we're dealing with a lot of T4, we kind of have to hit attack and then like to stop and look really quick to see if we see.
You can see that if you just set a
Yeah.
rally on
Yeah.
it with,
If you
with an
s-
alt
Yeah, if you
yeah.
set a rally, or if you just start the attack and look really quick, then you can already see if there's a lot of reinforcements already sitting there.
Yeah, I really wanted to not mention names, but I guess we have to. So I'm sorry to the 299 viewers. 299, well-known nation of T4s. Why? Because their top ones uses T4s. Evergen has the experience of this, so what she means by that is you will see a C38, and it's a fat, juicy C38, and you're ain't no way they're gonna use that one as a T4 trap. Yeah, nah. You go and hit it, and it's just a bunch of T4s. So yes, nation like that are the ones that you have to be careful. So BP rating may not work on those type of nations. But as she mentioned, if you click attack, you will see that the attack will show in the battle power view, and you'll see who's reinforcing or who's reinforced. Also, as Captain said, if you do a rally, you can see the reinforcements, how many reinforcements are in there. So, or you can scout it. Scouting it is also good. But then again, if you're scouting it, you're giving them the heads up, like, hey, we're coming, we're gonna hit you. So scouting wouldn't, I mean, either or. If you're attacking, you're rallying, or scouting, you're letting them know that you're coming. But then again, I remember what was it, 274 Evergen? When we went 274, the guy named Dan, what was he, a C40 or C41?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I didn't want to mention names, but these are experiences that we have dealt with, so I'm just stating the facts. So 274, there's a C40 or C41, whichever or. He has big BP. His battle power is big, so he has a lot of troops. And I don't know how he did it, but he did manage to hide all his troops, and all that was in him was T4s. And obviously, the alliance that was against them during Void, they wanted to hit him because how can he hide? There's no ruin line, or there's no lines to go to do. Oh shit, I forgot what's the name. What's the uranium thing name again? Doomsday. Doomsday. Yeah. Oh my god, my memory is so bad. So there was no Doomsday line, and we saw reinforcements going in, and there's no way for this guy to hide his troops. But unfortunately, you guys went and hit him, and what was it? T4s, right? Just a bunch of T4s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was it's so lame. It's lame. Anyways, so yeah. So those type of nations, those that go super hard on the whole T4 thing, are the ones that the top 1 and top 2 will play with just that. So avoid giving them the lead. Do not give them the lead. You have to fight hard during those last 4 phases if you want to win the Void, because you cannot guarantee you will get the points to outwin the lead at kill phase. You just can't. You can't expect that, because they have the whole the bubbles on pretty tight, and everything else will be played by just T4s. And maybe they'll make traps, but again, it's just a bunch of T4 traps. You can't expect them to use real troops. So it's gonna be boring. Those type of voids are the worst. They're just boring. No matter what you do, it's gonna be boring. So you really need to, if you really want to win, the last 4 phases, you have to go hard on it. Anyone want to add to that?
Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay.
No, I mean, there's always a sequence of events with these things, and being a T4 nation is basically the equivalent of playing against a nation that's scared shitless of you. So especially like Evergen would know this. You know, you play in 219, you can pretty much wreck almost everybody. So when people play against you, they will always try to gain an advantage and hide under a bubble. And it's the same thing. Whenever you face a T4 nation that you know is a T4 nation, you should always have a, let's say, a stash of recruitment as an alliance. You don't just rely on the big whales for this. You have, I don't know, 10, 20, 30,000 hours of recruitment between 100 members. And if you create a big enough advantage, either they will give up or they will try to regain it to win. But when the T4 nation tries to regain it to win, they can't really attack you. So what they will do is try to set up traps. All you have to do is avoid the traps. It's boring as hell, but it's going to work.
Yeah, regardless what you do, the void is gonna be boring. The frenzy could be boring too. I don't know. Do they play hard on frenzy? Maybe, but void is
Yeah,
gonna
because
be
that's when
No.
they don't lose troops.
true.
No, they play
No?
T4 Frenzy too.
Ah, lame,
Hello.
lamos, bunch of lamos.
Yeah.
I don't care if you say it's a strategy. It's lame. It's boring.
I don't
Joy
know who to
killers.
add. Actually, wait, 299 is a T4. 574 is also a T4 nation with honorable exceptions, individual players.
Rita, write that
But that's
down.
also
Write
a
that down,
T4
Rita.
Yeah.
You're making the list, Rita.
Dude, if I made the mistake, they just caught a stray bullet for no reason. I apologize if I did make a mistake, but I think it was 574.
I don't
Please
know.
type those into the chat.
Look, I only know like I know two. Well, no, I take it back. I'm not. Well, it's hard.
Good.
Like you really, the only way you can identify and say, yeah, for sure, this is a T4 nation, has to be like the way the 299 does it. If 299, the way 299 does it is like straight up, yeah, that's a T4 nation. And 274 did the same thing. I can't say 320, but they did bring T4s. But I feel like that was more in the second to farm alliance. I mean, Polo can beat the James. Do you
No.
remember 320?
Oh yeah, I definitely do.
Okay. Did 320 use a lot of T4s? I'm trying to remember.
During the
320
frenzy, Joker did.
320 has a whale guy hiding in like a top 7 alliance protecting farmers. And he uses T4s exclusively on defense.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the void. Because we did hit some T4s, but I'm not trying to say that 320 is a T4 nation, but they do use the strategy. So I guess we could call it that.
They do use the strategy, but not all of them. So I
Mhm.
don't know whether you can classify them as
T4.
a full T4 nation.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
Sorry?
One nation swapped recently, right? Was it 170 something swapped recently, right? 172 or 170?
183 was the original ones, I think. That was the story.
No, 192 was the original one, but they merged into 183. But they're not T4 anymore. But there was one nation that swapped into T4 recently. I think it's like 172 or 174.
That's such a stupid way to play the game. Jesus Christ.
Honestly, I'm happy for 183 that changed the minds of 192 for doing that. I just wish they would have done that to all of them, but it is what it is. As Barry has encountered from 385 against 299, the silent intelligence is the joke.
Yeah, like 192 was the way that 299 is now. Like they were solid, like 100% T4. Like 219 lost to 192 back in like 2 years ago because they didn't we know how to deal with that. So like 183, when you deal with them now, you'll see some T4 like in some of their lower alliances, which is the way it should be done, I think. But you don't see it up in their top one so much. So like it's more kind of melded there after the merge, and that's fine. Like yeah, sure, using their lower alliances, but
the girl cat is hungry. James says, I hate to see good players stuck in T4 nations. That really sucks. And it does. Because some of them do have good players. But it just sucks that that's the rule. That's the way the nation wants to play it. Then, oh well. The best thing to do is just get the fuck out of there. Just get out. Don't stay there. Get out of there. The minute the nation's like, oh, we just play a bunch of T4s. It's all about T4s. That's our strategy. Get out of there. It's boring. All right.
It must be really demoralizing, honestly.
Oh, it is.
If you are a player like that, stuck in a nation like that, holy crap.
I mean, I feel like they're the type of people that hate losing troops. What's the best way of not losing troops?
No, but
Use T4s.
I don't think it's losing troops. I think it's just, oh, this gives us the biggest advantage to win. Which, fair enough. When I used to play, yeah, I was a dirty player. I'm gonna burn your flags. I'm gonna do everything. If the game allows it, it's acceptable. And the game allows T4
and that's
strategies,
the
so
problem.
it's
The game.
acceptable.
I mean, no. I mean, people say that the only way this can go away is that the T4s give points, like everything else. But then again, they will find another way. They'll just use T1s. That won't
No,
stop
but then
them.
but listen, if you give point availability for T4 and below,
Mm-hmm.
then you open a whole can of worms, especially for newer nations that still rely on farms. So what do you do about the farms? You can't kill them off every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What you can do is have the T4s not gain any points instead. But then you're sending your Titans and your warplane for nothing. So you're wasting Titan vitality for nothing.
But wouldn't they bump it up to T5s if the T4s are not giving points?
Yeah, but you can still give away points as T5.
I don't know. It's a whole, like you said, it's a whole can of worms and how to combat that in game.
No, fighting with T5 is acceptable because you're still putting yourself at a risk. You can still get caught. You can still be at a loss, like a net loss. That's fine. You can still play by the rules of defense and offense. But if you open up T4 and below, it's gonna be a whole problem. I mean, for the older nations, no. You just use like a C-34 to scout, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a farm. In like Globe 1, 2, 3, whatever. But for the newer people, people still have like 10 farms each or something because they try to reach C30 or whatever it is.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm trying to help somebody getting here. Does this Discord have a link? Does it have a link?
Yeah.
I think so. I'll just go and click here. No, I'll click here. Actually, no. I'm gonna just tell them. Just don't worry next time. Okay, I tried. This is me. I tried. All right. All right. Let's see. Question: T4 nations are the weakest nations. Yes. But don't you hate that back then? Like I did used to see a lot of this. That they will boast. Or, is that the word? Boast. Boast about their wins. Like, yeah, look at us win. We have 10 win streak again in Void by using T4s. I hated that, seeing that in Facebook. I hated that. It's like, that's not a win. That's not a win. Winning by T4 is not a win. Okay. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay. I hear a cat.
I'm sorry. She's really
No, I love. It's okay. I have a baby kitten, as you know. You're the one who said, "Oh, I joined the what was it called? The hell of kittens." The mama, the responsibility as a cat mom now. What does it mean that newer nations still rely on farms? I guess that's on you, Doju. Tristan is asking, what does that mean?
Well, there comes a specific point in the game where obtaining uranium for further and further goals, like you would need 500,000 uranium to farm it, and unless you actively purchase it every day, you will need so much time to get it that the resources are just useless to acquire. It's a waste of your time after a while. Like if you want to get, I don't know, let's say you're C36 and you want to go to C37, that could easily take you at least 4 to 5 months with a subscription to a uranium card and you doing uranium mines every day. So farming for 6 months on like 5 farms, that's the equivalent of about 100 to 200 million minerals, depending on how diligent you are.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do with them? You can't spend them. The game doesn't allow you to because you don't have uranium. So it's kind of useless to spend your time on it. So you don't rely on farms that much. That's why people in the older nations don't really use their farms to farm. They use their farms to either scout safely or to just be a nuisance to the enemy.
I hope that answered your question, Tristan.
So as far as that goes, everybody keeping their farms to T4 is actually sort of a newer thing. We didn't actually do that back in the olden days.
Mm.
So
Back in the good old days.
so we just had to actually keep the troops fit up or shield them just like we do the main cities. So like if the T4 and below troops gain points, they would just have to keep them protected just like we all did once upon a time. And we were big boys and girls about it, or they died, and it is what it is.
Oh, that is gonna break a lot of worlds. I mean, it's fun. I like the idea. I prefer it.
But like the other thing about it is, even though yes, people do it, and it's allowed, and it's it is or is not allowed. Camel ignores it, but like even on some of my spreadsheets and stuff that I have to answer questions from Camel, you're not actually really supposed to have farms so much.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of look past it. Like that's part of the reason why the whole tutorial exists, and they make you go through it. It's just to make it really inconvenient for people to set up multiple accounts, but they don't really want people to have a gazillion accounts in one nation. But they kind of let it go. But it's not really the idea for how they want people to play. So like, they're not going to design stuff for people to have that's not the idea. Though, is to design the game around people having a whole bunch of accounts in one nation.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't change it because they understand that people like to experiment, and people like to kind of start over. Like it's something they don't mess with because it hasn't become a problem yet per se. So
Not just that, but Camel would end up losing a big chunk of their player base.
I mean,
Because
yeah, I'm sure they understand that too. But
like the average player is going to spend a specific amount of money in the game, and if you remove the alleviation of pressure from not having to rely on actually purchasing resources, if you add that
Can we
to
not
their
mention
wallet,
about
they're
that?
just
Thank
gonna
you very
straight up lose.
much.
My apologies.
And you're trying to get me banned. No, for real. I'm still banned on that Facebook. I'm still salty about it, not gonna lie. It's like bastards. I'm not the only one that's mentioned these topics, but no. Little me. Get the ban hammer.
But no, like stuff I have written up even says that like that's not their intention for how the game was supposed to be played, was for people to have multiple accounts.
Remember a few years back when the game first came out, they were celebrating, oh, we have 20,000 players, and apparently half of those were farms, not players. So probably that's why they did that. Yeah, it was funny because like they were celebrating that they had so many players, but in reality, it was just half of it was just all farms. Because a lot of people will just make 50, 60, 70 farms. It was crazy. Not because they were using emulators. Some of them might have, but some people really did have like 3 or 5 phones, like just 3 or 5 phones, and they would just do their dailies on the farm and gathers and whatnot. It's just crazy. The dedication was there, but at the beginning, at the start of the game, back in the day, that's how people grew their city. The fastest way, just to have a bunch of farms, and that's how you'll get the resources to grow. So that's how it was. Now it's not like that. It's much more easier now because obviously they put more things to make it more easier for you to grow. Not like back then. Not like back then.
I still stand by the policy of it's just easier to get it from your neighbor.
Love thy neighbor. That's what it says, right? All right, go back to topic. Let's see. Nature sounds. Problem is officers getting expensive. Problem is, officers getting officers is very expensive. Yeah, I mean the officers is it's an expense. Not as expensive as the Titan though. For me, the Titan's more expensive and the warplane. But for officer, if you just focus on your is it the director? No, the strategy officer, which is Morgan and Saki, and then your war officers, then you're good. But now since we have drill officers, they're like the third tier to focus on. So strategy officers, war officers, and then drill officers, because you know it becomes too much. It does become too much. So luckily for strategy,
if you're a lower spender on like the totem pole, the biggest help in terms of development for officers that anybody can probably give you is you don't have to level up specific skills on officers, not only because they're bad, but also because your whale probably has them maxed out. So you having it also doesn't really help in a group attack. You should probably focus only on the stats rather than having every skill maxed out to fuck.
yeah, I don't know.
Other than that, you're stuck, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. It is a lot. But again, the game is a marathon, not a race. If you're like a lower to a medium spender or not a spender, just take your time. It's fine. Just be a good player, good active player, level your civility to, you know, not as strong, but strong enough to, you know, to be able to do attacks, you know? And to be able to join the bigger leagues. But that's a whole can of worms in how to be or get into those leagues, you know? It's not always about being a spender. That's all I'm saying. You can be a really good player, you not be a spender, and be a top 1 player. Be in the top 1 alliance and join those attacks. Let's see.
Yeah.
I think I stopped that step at point 3. Once you have ensured the lead, lock, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So 4 was avoid the obvious T4 traps. I think we already talked about that. Checking the BP, rally, send an attack, scout, yada yada. Okay. The final one that I wrote is play at your own risk. Meaning if you already have the lead and you're bored, obviously, and you want fights, you wanna fight, okay, play at your own risk, because like I said, they will put up T4 traps. You rather just catch them trying to get the lead back than you trying to get points. You catching my drift? I'll take that as a no. Nobody's catching my drift. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, if you already have the lead and you're very bored, just make a trap. But then again, you need to know, are they stronger than you? Because you don't want to bleed. You don't want to bleed points on that one trap you made, you know? But anyway, you play at your own risk. Either way, it's going to be a boring void. It's going to be boring. No matter what you do, it's going to be boring. Because, again, T4s are not fun. Not fun for us. It's fun for them, but not for us. Have you talked about what we did last void? Oh, last void. Thank you, Mr. Sandman. See, he catches my drift. Or she. No, he, she. Anyway, Sandman catches my drift. Anyway, James wants me to talk about Nation 400, another nation that uses T4. So, Rita, write that down. 400.
Write it down.
Write it down.
That's actually a really good idea. There should be a wall of shame for these people.
Yeah, Rita said we should make a list. Make a list. I'm like, I'm not gonna be the one making the list, but somebody can make a list. Polo, hey Polo, you were there during the 400. You were the mastermind of the shame. The shame.
You gotta shame them.
So
Did
Polo,
you mow them
what
down
did
with
you?
Aeon, Polo?
Did I what?
Did you mow them down with Aeon?
Did I mow them down with Aeon? Oh no, I did. I
Yeah.
used Aeon during Elite War.
Yeah, fair enough.
Polo, can you tell them what you did, what we did at 21 reset time? Was it 21 reset?
We all teleported on Watson City.
Mm-hmm.
and we all drop bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 30 or so UBN.
Mm-hmm.
Attack us if you want. But what we did is we burned all their farms. We burned all their flags. We burned everything. And
We were just sitting there burning unbubbled.
Yep. Yeah. Attack us. Do something.
Mm-hmm.
You all suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shamed them.
That's what we did.
We
Actually, that was kind of fun. That might have been one of the more fun moments of the void.
Can't wait to see the video of that.
Yeah. I got the recordings. Polo made sure I was there.
There was a lot of fire.
Oh yeah, it was cooking. The whole 400 nation was cooking.
It's funny, you know. The only thing they did is they defended some flags with T4. Isn't that funny shit?
Of course. Oh, and the most funny part, the one guy that is in the top alliance saying, "We do not play with T4." Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his
That's
tagline
hilarious.
on his profile said, "We don't play with T4." But yeah, these nations, even the top alliances, play with T4. What's funny was one of our most recent voids was against 171. Top alliance AOS. It's a good, strong alliance.
Mm-hmm.
They have no excuse, but they're using T4.
Yeah.
You know, in void.
Did I make a video about that? Yeah, I did. I did make a video.
I don't understand that shit. Like, you have a strong alliance, you still play with T4, and then we play Elite War with them, and then they go all out and spend hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars in Elite War. But
we won the Elite War too.
What's that?
We won the Elite War, right? I don't remember. I was there.
Of course. There's no way we're gonna lose to an alliance that uses T4.
And then we also got we also went against 299 in Elite War twice, right?
Yeah, that was just to shame them. I mean, 299, they can't even compete with anyone in anything.
Nah, somebody's gonna come in saying, but in GC we were champions.
GC against nations in like the 400s or whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, GC these nuts. Anyways. Dave Warren says, we recently had our first void against a merged T4 nation, Snorefest. We just bubble up and let them have their fake win. Yeah, let them have their fake win. It's so boring. And it's a waste. Because like I said...
This is where 20 to 30,000 hours of recruitment comes in real handy.
Yeah, but like I said, okay, when that comes in handy, but it's expensive. Yeah, that part, you're wasting all that expense in just being able to have the lead at the 4 phases instead of having your expensive during the fun time, which is void, which is the kill phase. So yeah, it depends on you what you want to do, but if you really want to win, you gotta put in the money on the last 4 phases.
I mean, you don't have to like dump it all right away. You can stack it over like months and months.
That's why I mentioned as well, do the surprise attack during recruitment. Yeah. They do a surprise attack, you know? Do not let them know your next move is the saying. Let me see. Explain about equipment. I have all purple. Should I redo for orange level? I'm level 30. City and growing should focus on growing on city level or equipment. Is it time and money better on spent heroes? Alright, so you're level 30.
This sounds off topic.
I know, but we'll make it quick. At level 5, until he sees 35, he can do level 6, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're 30 now, you can gamble. Oh my god, I'm saying this. I know. Oh my god. But he's already all purple. So since you're all purple now, you can gamble your level 4s purples to level 5 gold if you're lucky. If you're so unlucky and get a level 5 purple, restart. Just start over, go straight to gold. But if you want to keep gambling, then just do I think it was left side purple, right side gold, and the right side is just 1 gold piece. So it's like more efficient and economical is the word. You could try that, but I cannot guarantee you will get gold. The only guarantee you will get gold if you start from the beginning as gold. As long as that take. It does take, I know it's not, but if you're a very unlucky person, then that's your 100% guarantee. If you want to gamble, because, you know, it just takes too long, then you gamble from 4 to 5. Get that level 5 gold. And then at level 6, get, you know, because level 6 gold requires 2 gold pieces on each side. So you might as well get that level 5 as a gold equipment. I hope that helps. All right, so
Also, one more thing, especially because we C30. Find an officer that you don't really need to use, like Loreline at that stage. Put a level 1 mobility skill, hunt as many monsters as you can. You're gonna get free materials. Thank me
and
later.
XP for
Bye-bye.
officer, and lots of XP. So hunting monsters, like it, do hunt a lot of monsters. It gives you a lot of XP. It gives you equipment material. It's like you don't even need to spend. It'll just do all that and get the stuff for free. You know, it takes time, obviously, but again, the game is a marathon, not a race. I'm gonna make a song out of that. All right, let's see. Ban taking, get them all to level 4 purple. Okay, they're answering that guy. Warhammer Dead idea form toggle can only be changed once every 30 days. City can be changed to a farm. With a farm city skin, all troops in a farm are reduced to T0. City cannot be toggled during cross nation events. Oh, so you're giving like a game idea. Okay. So basically, I guess he's saying like you did like you deciding if your city is gonna be a farm or a main city. And if you decide at the beginning that it's a farm, then that city will be out for the event of Void or Frenzy. I mean, it's a good idea, but I doubt the game will do that.
Be out. He said that the troops are going to be out, but that's not the reason why you're using T4s. The reason why you're using T4s is just to buy time for your warplane and your Titans. So you still end up with the same issue.
And all T4 scores equal points. Yeah, but I have no power over that. We just gonna, it is what it is, what we got. All power pumps are hard to, you know, you could, it's a suggestion. I mean, never mind, I'm not saying it because Polo's gonna pull my ear if I suggested it.
Are you about to say something very superstitious?
Yes.
I won't pull your ear. I'll stay
not my
silent.
ears. Okay, my superstition. Yeah. Anyways, Bill, buddy, Bill, listen to me. How about collect as much material chest as you can, and then the day you're like, okay, I'm ready, I'm gonna open these chests. Go to your equipment, deselect everything, be at 0 equipment. Close the game, open the game again, open the chest. Open them, you can open all of them at the same time if you want, or I don't know if this worked, but this is what I always do, and this is what I always have been doing, is opening the chest by 5, by 4, by 10, and then playing around with the RNG. That's basically what we're doing. We're playing around with the RNG. And hopefully, you get lucky and hit a bunch of pumps, or the more harder materials to get. So try to do that sometime when you get a bunch of chests. That's my tip for the night. Well, let me.
And also in the exchange store, if you refresh it 5 times a day, it's 210 gold, which is probably the best bang for your buck. And you will have an opportunity to level up like Dr. Gray and Medici real fast, but you will also sometimes get either 1 or 5 pumps that you can just buy in exchange for coins.
Yeah. Yep. Always check the black market. Check the distribution center. Just gotta keep checking around. 621 in the house. Welcome. 255. Welcome. All right. I guess we went off topic there. Polo. So the shaming. We gotta keep shaming them. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta shame them everywhere. Your nation chat, their nation chat, your taglines, your
the Discord, names. Shaming in the Discord, shaming in the Facebook, everywhere.
They should be ashamed. They should be ashamed. And also, if you shame them, maybe they'll get angry enough and attack you. So.
Yeah.
Or if you're unlucky like me, you'll get T4 SOS against your city.
Yeah, they love doing that. They love hitting your city with T4. But yeah, it's to defeat them.
Your poor gathering tanks, Polo. Your poor gathering tanks, man.
If you SOS with T4s, you're Yeah, we just don't say that.
But like I said, so basically, guys, if you're having issues with T4 Nation, again, it's simple, it's easy, but you know, it will be boring. It will be expensive if you don't have your recruitment stuff or your building or your monster hunting. Because again, you have to work hard on those last 4 phases. You have to have the lead. You have to guarantee that lead to your nation in order to defeat them. And also keeping the lead, even if when you have it. So like once Void starts and you have the lead, obviously they're gonna try and get those points. They will set up traps. They will attack everywhere they can. So you gotta be careful and not to bleed, but also, you know, don't get too excited and bleed points by accident by going to their T4 trap.
You may wake up in the morning with a fire in your house if you do that.
Yeah, because you know, again, when it becomes too expensive and everybody's paying too much for that 4 phase, and then it gets lost because some farmer forgot to bubble, you're in trouble. But yeah, you gotta keep those shields tight. And also, if you can, shame them. Yeah, we really need to make that list. 601 used to use many T4 in the last void. It was horrible. Oh, Rita, write that down. 601. Nation 601. I bet you Rita is not even writing this down, even though he's the one that suggested, oh, we need to make a list. Okay, so Nikki and Solo, you guys have us for friends. No! Polo, we're against 99.
Woo woo.
It's not T4 though. It's a fun nation.
I don't think we've ever fought 99.
Never?
And Battle Frenzy or
never. We have never been.
This is gonna be UBN's first win in Frenzy.
Yay!
I doubt that.
Doubt it. We will still keep our streak of 0 wins in Frenzy.
Who's from 99 here?
Yeah.
Meat Shirt.
Yep. Hello.
Hey, maybe we could set up
TA.
an alliance versus alliance TA.
Oh, that would be great. Let's do it.
Yep.
So Polo 99 is well known for BTS, the Korean alliance. Is BTS still number 1? Or did it?
Yep. They are, and they actually have the spin-off alliance, which is AOD, which is.
Oh, I heard the story. I heard the story. What was it? VN. Yeah. VN. The story was VN left BTS and went to make AOD. Whatever. AOD. Top alliance. So I'm gonna guess a lot of Viennese players left. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, I lost at least 13 players just right off the bat, and it was crazy. But they're pretty strong, and yeah, there's no T4 in 99, so big fat cities.
So there's a lot of farms, Polo. There's a lot of farms, a lot of cities.
Tons
We
of
used
farms.
to declare Elite War on BTS like once a month.
Did we?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Oh, before I came in.
When they used to be like ranked 10 to like 13 range.
Settings.
It's nice because they didn't waste a lot of speed. We just walked, we fought, and then the battle was done.
Oh.
I think this is when Jay used to farm them every week.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, okay, so it should be a fun frenzy. No teeth.
I'm sure the UBN Korean players will be happy.
Oh yeah. Let's just hope for Void will have a fun Void, because it's already been what, 2 Voids of just T4s. It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
UBN versus Sin. You heard it here, folks. Let's go.
Get out of here.
That's not fun.
No, it's not fun. That's expensive. I'm poor. I'm poor.
Would that be the third Void between UBN and Sin?
Are you talking about Void or are you talking about Elite War? I ain't ready for Elite War. No, thank you.
Yeah, we just had an expensive one.
Who was it against? I was sleeping.
AOS. T4, they used T4 and Void, and then they spent thousands of dollars in Elite War.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You know,
Yeah.
working night shift and then the elite war is during the time when you leave work is so hard.
Yeah, they showed up with 94 people, I think.
Oh, wow.
That's
Very
pretty good
active.
participation for them.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
we
you
had
did mention Crystal, one of their main whales. Well, she was like
yeah,
speeding around.
yeah. It's constant speeding. Use T4 and Void. Use T4 and Void, but you know, slam that gold button constantly for 45 minutes.
Ah, man, that's how it be. That's how it be.
That's just crazy to me, man.
It is, man.
It was a fun Elite War though. I might have spent like 400,000 gold, but you know.
AOS showed up with 94 people though. Did they just merge or something?
I think they did combine their top 2 alliances, or at least AOS took a bunch of strong people from their second alliance.
I guess for that elite war, maybe.
Yeah, it's an expensive one. They're gonna go all out if like the top alliances declare. Maybe they'll try less hard.
Write that down, Evergen. Write that down. 219.
Then casually writing down on who to challenge next.
Yeah. Yeah, AOS, I think they're ranked like 10, 9, 10, 11, something like that.
Oh.
They cost a lot more than it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right,
But
somebody's...
I definitely requested Princess to give me 171 and Void again, though.
Ah, why?
Shame. I gotta shame them.
So boring.
I gotta shame all these people.
I need to make fun video.
Oh my god, Nikki, do you know who's in 171 in AOS? Or was in AOS? It's the Spartacus guy.
Ah, I remember Spartacus.
You can do a theme.
What was the story again? The story was...
Bulldog is there too.
Bulldog? I don't know who Bulldog. The
he
story
was
was
on one of your streams.
Oh, was he? Oh. Hi, if you're there.
Go on.
The story with Spartacus was, I think he joined our nation chat and he was talking a lot of crap. And then he was trying to get SS1 to bleed points, or trying to get people to like bleed points, like, hey, open the shield, don't, you know, type of ordeal. And I don't know.
We went on a full propaganda.
Ah, yeah.
Fight the tyrants! Fight the tyrants!
Yeah. And then
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, in 52. When 52 went against 171. And one of our 52 players is really close with Crystal and Andy from AOS. And I feel like after maybe he showed them the guy was talking so much shit on Nation Chat that maybe they decided to kick him out, because during Void, I think it was during Void, they kick him out, so he was like with no alliance and with a shield. No, it was after Void. After Void they kicked the guy out.
They kicked him out because during Void he was in 52 Nation Chat talking crap while we were killing his alliance.
Yeah, and he did not fight at all. He wasn't like in no fights. He didn't drop the bubble, he didn't fight, he didn't defend, nothing. So I guess he spent the whole day talking shit in the Nation Chat.
He's a guy who's in 269's Nation Chat sometimes too. He's been trying to buy a city in 269. No, I'm not sorry. I didn't use that word. He's trying to whatever.
He's trying to invade us.
Yeah. And but he's not in a main alliance in 171. He sits there bubbled.
Yeah.
He's just a problem in that nation, and apparently he likes to talk in other people's Nation chats.
Mm-hmm. So I guess after the Void against 52, they kick him out.
Yeah, he even came to 269 to talk like real life political agenda stuff.
Yeah, those are the ones you just block.
People are fucking weird.
People are weird.
Shout out to Energetic for being the biggest bully there is.
Mm-hmm. And Bunny was such a bully to that guy, man. Energetic lives rent-free on his brain. All right, so Mr. Sandman says, before you end the stream, can we talk about the settings of the game and which is the best settings? Can you elaborate what kind of settings you're trying to say? Because I'm not sure. Like best quality and all that stuff? Is that what you mean? All right. Skyfall Warrior, I think you are from 6. Yeah, you're the first. Got confirmation from BIP. T4 is recognized as a problem and will be changing, but no time. I mean, I know. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been complaining to their BIPs about it, and they've been giving the same exact answers to, yeah, give it. They recognize it, so they may do something, but we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, right around the time where Globe 1 will get their next merges, so see you in 2034.
You know, they should more focus on those mergers. Be nice getting a merge. Actually, no. 269 is fine, right? We're fine. We don't need a merge.
No, just Globe 1. Everybody
Yeah.
except Nation
Well,
30.
we want a merge.
Ragnaros can stay without a merge.
If Globe 1, 2, or 3 nations are merging, we want to merge too.
Well, yeah, because if Glow 1 does get a merger, it will be rough. Yeah, it'll be rough because obviously those nations are already too powerful as it is. So it's rough getting them to get merger with somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
Most of the time settings don't make sense. I don't understand it. So sometimes I play the game at the lowest settings as possible. So just pick low settings. And if you're doing Void or Frenzy, the best thing to do is to delete all of your mail. Delete the mail. Like delete everything in the mail. If your alliance does post coordinates of each nation, save those mails. But deleting the mails does help reduce the lag. And playing at low quality does help as well. Also, there's light mode. Light mode does help. But again, depending what kind of phone you have, you know, will also help on that. But you can try those things as well. Just don't remember not to delete the coordinate mail because I have done it before. I have deleted the mail many times. That here's the coordinates of each alliance of the other world. I'm like, damn it, I deleted the mail. I don't know where to go. I have one Samsung Fold.
You can also clear your cache out.
What about like the priority lead of troops? What is a priority? Do you guys know what a priority lead of troops is? Isn't that frontline?
I think
I had
whether
a
it's
typo
focusing on
loadout.
yeah, like whether it's focusing on like
recruiting on a daily basis?
No, whether it's focusing on the city or whether it's focusing on the cars, like what you're clicking on.
In the settings, like you can see a car or you can see the troops and a car.
Well, no, it's like when you're what you're clicking on the map, like either what it prioritizes what you're touching, either cities or vehicles.
Right, prioritize fleet or cities. Yeah.
Wait, there's a setting of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So you want to stay
there was a setting of that?
You want to stay prioritized to fleet most of the time. I guess prioritizing cities is good in like events like Iron Blood. I guess Chaos Planet used to do that. Global Conquest. Things like that, right? Right, Jen?
You know the struggle I've been having whenever I'm recording and I want to click on a city, but I'm clicking on a damn car. Yeah, and the same thing with global. I'm trying to click the tower and I'm clicking on a damn car. You know the struggle I've been having?
You're a noob.
All the time.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there was a settings. I need to go and change that.
Dixie's a noob.
I am a noob. Welcome to my stream, guys. I'm giving tips, but I'm a noob. It's just those are just I know. Wow. Those are just things I don't notice, Like, the game keeps changing and keeps updating, that they just add new things and it's just I don't know what the new thing is. They don't even mention it, Sometimes they do, but not all the time.
That was there forever.
Stop shitting me, Polo. Bullshit. That was not there.
That has been there for like years.
No.
I just told you I used to do
feel
it in Chaos
shame. So much shame. No. Oh God, that's the worst.
I usually keep it set to prioritize cities because otherwise, I keep clicking on the cars when I'm trying to attack something and I get pissed off. Unless I'm trying to see like where a car is going or like I'm trying to find something and then I'll swap it real quick. But
wow, I guess I had to go and game and fix that. all these years of me struggling, trying to click a city and trying to click a tower in GC, but all I've been clicking is cars. I think I did like oh my God, whenever as Maddie used to call them, the toilets. You know what I'm talking about? The toilets, the little towers, the little core
Small
towers.
around the
Yeah,
map. You see? Yeah.
I call them toilets now because Maddie says that's what they
It
look
is
like.
a good name for them.
It's a good name. It's so hard to click on the damn toilet because of the cars, the lines, everything. It's like, I hate GC because of that. That was one of the reasons why I hated GC, because I couldn't click the damn tower. I couldn't send my fleet. But thank
Now
you.
know-
Thank
now
you guys.
know.
You saved my life. You saved.
That's funny.
I'm such a noob. Thank you, Mr. Sandman. It's all because of you. Thank you.
You might be a worse noob than James.
What did James do?
Nah, he's just a noob.
You're gonna let him talk.
I just saw him hop on, so I have to talk about him.
Yeah, James just being James.
You said what?
James is busy doinking his sister.
Sweet home Alabama.
Yeah, T4 nations go to the family reunions and hook up with cousins.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Easy.
Easy. The
Easy.
Alabamians are here.
Yeah, you gotta put duct tape on James's mouth. Otherwise,
But it depends if they're second or third cousins. It's totally legit, man.
We went from T4 to equipment to cousins. Should know about cousins.
I have a lot of hot cousins, man. You have no idea how tempting that is.
Oh God.
Who's this guy?
It's so quiet in here after that. I'm totally kidding. No, they really are hot, actually.
Are you sure? Because that's what somebody will say. LYT show says, is there no list of T4 nations? No, but we're trying to create one. Rita, write that down. Oh, Rita's gone. Oh, we lost it. No, there's no list.
And one of the Discord servers, I don't remember which one, there is a channel called T4 Nations.
Oh, which one?
People write which nations they
Is it
fight.
Barry server?
I don't know. I don't think it's Barry server.
What
another
Discord
one. I don't
server
know.
are you on that I'm not on?
I don't know. I've seen Raziel talking there, so maybe it's what's that
Woody's server. Oh,
Woody's
okay.
server. It is Woody's server.
Mm.
As I remember, someone called Woody's Nation a T4 Nation. That's it.
Oh. I cannot claim or deny that because I was in 732 at the time, so I don't remember.
That's another good point. People who call nations T4 nations, you have to see if the source is reliable, because some people who call a nation a T4 nation, they might not know what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like if I call someone a T4 nation, they're a T4 nation, right?
Can you explain what a T4 nation is? I'm kind of new to that term. So
in 269, we forced cities to use only T4 troops, right? That's fine. That doesn't make us a T4 nation.
I'll get to it.
A T4 nation is something where they use T4 troops in Void, or I guess Battle Frenzy, as a strategy of fighting, right? So a lot of your battles are going to be involved fighting T4 troops because they're using cities to attack flags or draw attention so that you attack these traps, and they have 10 to 15 to 20 or so cities with T4 troops reinforcing that. That's a T4 nation, where their primary strategy of fighting during Void War is with T4 troops. Does that make sense?
yeah, totally. So in 157, the rules of engagement are if you're not in the top tier alliances, you're considered a farmer. You're only allowed to have T4 troops, so you can operate your cities and scavenge and hunt monsters and so forth. But
which I think that's
but T4
fine.
is so that they don't give up points. Is the idea, right? But most of us who have like T10 troops or higher, we hide them in the alliance halls and so forth. So you always lose, so you have to hunt basically with 3 of your queues. You lose a queue because most of you have 1 queue that's burned in hiding your higher tier troops, or they'll come and eliminate you because you're a risk at giving up points. So So we have a whole nation of T4. Like, you know, if you're not in the top tier, the rest of everyone else is only supposed to have T4 troops. But people break the rules and hide that. So you're saying that these folks are actually growing T4 troops for a
Oh
battle.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like
So-
top one, top two, top three alliances all operate on T4
Yeah.
exclusively.
So
or you'll see the top alliances not fight at all,
Mm.
and then they have secondary cities in a different alliance that they consider the T4 alliance, and they only play void in that alliance, right? So there's
So-
there's
Mhm.
different types of T4 nations, but those are primarily the ones.
I think what the main thing is to know is to identify them is just to see if the top one or the top two are playing with those T4s. Because obviously you want your nation to be clean. Polo, correct me if I'm wrong. There are some alliances in 269, the lower alliances, the farms, I guess. They use T4, right?
Right.
Right.
We have
So-
two types of alliances, main
Right.
and farms.
Right. So the main point of this is you need to identify which one is actually a T4 nation, and the only way you can know is if the top one, top two, and if they have a top three, uses T4s during main battles. That's the main issue. Because the farms, the lower alliances, they don't. Who cares? Who cares if they use T4s? That's fine. We're talking about the main alliance, those who call themselves fighters, who they call themselves the main people of the world. You know, if they're the one using T4s, that's the issue. They're the T4
Yeah,
fighters. That's a T4 nation right there.
And also, they have to use it consistently. I'm playing a bit of like devil's advocate at the moment with this, but for example, Polo. Dude, you're UBN. Nobody wants to play Void against you. You're gonna get a lot more T4 than like the regular Joe because people are just simply afraid. Like they would be willing to do T4 against you and then have another opponent next month, and they would play regularly because they're not, scared shitless.
I guess it's what you're saying is
I
the
see
bad
that
thing of
point.
being a strong alliance.
I see that
The
point,
same
but-
thing
but then
happened with
also-
52 and 219. Like
We
nobody
were
wants to
just
play
playing-
with us.
We were just
Yeah,
playing.
Nikki, I mean,
Nation
it's
400.
the same when we played in ED1. Like people would complain to their VIP that they would be queued up against us because it's just that much of an inconvenience to them.
So
Well, yeah,
if,
but-
if we're destroying someone, like we just played 400, we won by like 12, 14 billion points, right?
Oh yeah, well, that's a
Wasn't
lot
even
of
close.
points.
But like, if you're in that situation, you feel like you can't even compete. Why not just set traps? You will never lose troops, right? There's absolutely no harm in doing it. You can't win. You cannot
Brother,
win.
we both know you're not hitting those. And if
Those
you
traps?
do, you're gonna win. Come on.
No, we would hit those traps all day long. You know,
Yeah,
Don't
well,
you,
you-
if you have not known, Polo doesn't give a
if-
shit.
if
Polo
we're-
will
if
do
we're-
what Polo
but-
wants, and
Yeah,
Polo
but
will hit
here's my
them.
point. Here's my point. You're still gonna win, and they are fully aware of this because exactly they know who UB1 is. UBN. Sorry. And my point is, there's gonna be a lot of people who will be afraid of very, very specific alliances with very good reason, right? Like, what's your win rate on Void? Like 100% or something?
we've lost 1 out of 45 or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you say that, it's ludicrous to like the regular Joe,
Yeah. I mean, again, I see what you're saying, but like, if someone has absolutely no confidence in winning, then who cares? Set a trap. You won't lose any troops. We'll come attack that trap. You might lose the battle, but you might learn something. You might have fun. And
Yeah,
then
very true.
Yeah, the point is having fun.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
also based on principle alone, like if you know that you're not gonna win, like let's say you're playing UBN or Syndicate or whoever, just take a break, man. Shield up. That's it. You don't have to go through the stress. Take a family day. It is what it is. Sometimes you get unlucky and you get those alliances. You don't have to do T4s.
and if you use T4 against me, I'm gonna kill all the T4.
Mm-hmm. Polo will go and kill your T4s.
Kill all the T4.
You may laugh at it because we can recruit these guys. So no, he'll take your resources. He'll take your refugees. It's not worth it.
I
I
know.
will sit there on my phone for an hour and attack your city.
3 million T4, you can't kill them all.
This
I'll
madman.
kill all the T4.
Oh,
I'll
he will
kill
kill
them
them
all.
He will speed.
Have a meat shield from here to your mom's house, man. Come on. I'm playing.
I mean, it's the same thing though. Some people won't even set traps against us, and it's no fun. But you know,
I
we don't
guess
wanna
it's
sit there
how
and
do we
fight
call
people all
this?
day either.
Yeah.
It's the bad thing of being in a powerful, well-known nation, I guess, because the more you're well known, and if people see like, oh wow, they're very strong and they have won so many events, once they get you, then they will rather not want to play with you. You know,
Yeah.
because you know how
But the
people
flip
can
side
be.
of that is like most of these nations are well known for being the T4. Like they don't just suddenly do it 1 month and then like don't do it the next month. Like that's
Right.
not
It takes a
that's
lot
not
of
the
planning.
nations that are being called
Yeah.
out for being T4. Like
Right. It takes a while to recruit all those T4
Bye.
troops.
Yeah.
this is
So to answer Mr. Digital Driver, to those type of alliances or those type of nations are what we would consider a T4 nation. Anything that's under a farm, and if the farm has T4s, that's fine. That's whatever. It's like if the main alliance, the main people you are supposed to be fighting, the main ones who are supposed to be winning for this event are using T4s, that's a T4 nation. That's the problem. So that's the point that I was trying to say. Super strong. Let's see. Any other questions, or want to talk about? Hi, Rye.
Hello, hello.
Do you have your experience with T4, Mr. Rye?
Yeah, of course. I fucking hate it, and Camel should do something about it. And I don't know why they don't. It's ruining the game.
Right is T4.
Right is what?
You're T4.
I said you are T4.
I will
It's-
smack you, you stupid bear.
Oh man, but
Oh, that's funny.
I learned everything I could about every T4 strategy just so I could defeat it. But there's really no. I mean,
Oh, okay. What's your take on it?
That dude in 299 is the best I've ever seen. And it's mostly like some cheesy tactics, but he's very smart in how he prepares and has a lot of troops, a lot of heals, a lot of resources ready to go. So I hope people don't learn from him, because that guy's truly like, he's a menace. I don't know if you guys have talked about him on this pod, but he's gotten like.
I did not mention him, but I mentioned the Nation 299. We have mentioned.
Yeah.
I feel
he's
honestly.
Also in 286.
I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, it is what it is. We're just speaking facts.
No, they know, and I mean, 299 is the originator. Really, I mean, they developed a lot of the strategy themselves, so they get a lot of hate for it. They know it.
They boasted a lot in the Facebook about how much they have won the Void and they won this and that.
Yeah,
but then
and they're not all. I mean, they're not all like that. There's a lot of people that don't play like that, but they just sit under a shield, right? Like the only people you're fighting when you're playing 299 in Void are going to have T4s. So
yeah. So I really don't know much about that guy, but when Barry fought them again in Void, he did mention about the guy that is well known to get the C30 that's well known to get Tyrant just because of the strategy that he uses. I tried. I don't want to mention him because like people will get the idea and just do that. No.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was worried about. He's a good guy. Like, it's hard. I like him personally. I've had a lot of discussions with him. It's like I give him kudos for finding the holes in strategy and figuring out ways to be efficient. But God, yeah, if everybody plays like him, it's gonna make a shittier game. You know?
Yeah. We'll quit on the spot.
Yeah.
Hi, Flexnut. But yeah, I don't want to talk about that guy. As much as he said he's a nice guy and everything, but
I
don't want to give ideas out there. If you're a T4 user, I don't want to give you ideas. You're not hearing it from this stream. Go somewhere else.
Yep.
Not tonight. But you do have your ways to defeat them, right?
Yeah, it's the same as everything else for Void. It's mostly not giving away a phase 1 through 4 lead. Right, so like what Polo does, and these guys that are really successful Void nations, like if you can stay with somebody phase 1 through 4, it takes away a lot of the options for these T4 nations. They just really rely on recruiting and gathering and farming phases to get a little bit of a lead, and then they just don't fight. So it leaves you no options, and then you got to travel to their nation. They got to track you down. If you can stay with them, then it's a little more even. It eliminates some of their options. And then number 2 is just mean, having good control over your own nation, your own players, and that they understand if it looks too good to be true, it is. Like, don't just attack shit with fog on it. Like everything with fog on it in these nations is gonna be a T4 trap.
Yeah. The
The
fog gives it away. That's another giveaway.
Yeah, if anything sitting there fog that doesn't look like it should be, that's high BP, it's gonna be 15 Titans with a bunch of douchebag fleets in there with a bunch of T4s. So just don't do it. You're better off doing nothing than attacking shit like that.
I also like using smaller cities with the Stormbow skill or their Kingsley skill and marking those T4
Marking them, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So like for 12 hours, you post on their nation chat, hey, listen, this city's marked. This is a T4 trap. This is his current name and alliance. This is his current location. He's marked. Don't attack him. And just be aware that he might change his name because he's a sneaky fuck. Or change his alliance,
Yeah,
that's another thing. Communication, it's big on going against T4. You have to communicate with your nation and be like, hey, avoid this city at all costs. Do not hit this alliance. Do not hit it because it's all T4. That's another main thing. You need to communicate to the people and let them know, do not hit it because it's a T4. Because they can bleed without knowing. So if you give them the warning, you set out the flags like, hey, this is avoid it at all costs, then that will reduce the bleeding.
And that's exactly what hurts a nation is, people think like, well, I just made one small mistake, but you go, right, well, extrapolate that. And if I make one small mistake and then somebody else in my alliance 10 hours later when I'm asleep makes one small mistake, and then you multiply that by 5 alliances fighting, that's, 10, 15 people making the same mistake against one trap. It's not just one mistake. Like everybody has to be communicating so you're not hitting. If you hit the trap once, no big deal. If 15 different people in your nation hit it and they keep doing that over and over again, that's where you lose your points. Because those things don't give up a lot of points. I mean, realistically, if you hit a T4 trap with a decent sized city, it's not that many points.
But it can accumulate.
Yeah, it accumulates if you hit it a bunch, if a bunch of players keep hitting it.
Just hit it with T4.
Yeah, that you can do too, but then you're part of the problem too, right? It's like, fucking, what are we doing?
I'm getting points from their stupid fucking Titans.
Yeah, but
sorry for the language.
Now it's T4 versus T4. This is what I reached the point
which is fun. It's fun and funny at the same time because they'll be exciting, like, yeah, we got all these points, but no, it was a bunch of T4 too.
It really ruins it for them in the long run, and usually makes them send in a real fleet trying to kill your T4. And that's when you go in and you just kill their main fleet. That's what I usually do.
It just ends up that's the point where it's all just everyone's carrying around T4 fleets just for jerk off purposes. I'd rather not.
Well.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Nikki, sorry, I was trying to mess with my headphones. I heard you say my name. Thank you for having me. How are y'all doing?
I think you need to fix your mic.
Yes. Oh, all right.
That's okay. Yeah. But yeah, for Mr. Show, yeah, that's a strategy right there on defeating T4 nations. I mean, it's not much to it. It's really it all comes down into the last 4 phases. It's like guaranteeing to have the lead. You're just to guarantee to have the lead. That's the main thing, the most focus on. Because it won't be promised to you that you will be able to get those points back if you like don't care and you just let them have the lead. You can't expect them to use real troops when they have the lead. They're just gonna bubble and they will just use T4 traps. So you have to guarantee your nation in getting the lead on your side. Let's see.
Can anybody comment on why the game has such shitty payouts for all those bases? They use such shitty language like win rich prizes. Look at the prizes you win for the effort you put in. It's so paltry. It's why is the game shitty like that?
Because we are playing a shitty game and we're stuck in it.
That's
the short answer of it.
I play another game that you know, it's Game of Thrones, and it used to be a badass game. Now you have to, you know, upon merger upon merger upon merger. It's like shit. You live under a bubble all the time. You can't never bubble, and or you'll get zeroed. And we're talking about 600 million power, billion power. Like it's not like AOZ at all. But I like playing this game because I can come in and do some shit while other things are cooking in that game. But it just the payouts in that game are pretty decent if you spend a little bit of money and build up your keep or your heroes or whatever. You know, you can be competitive, but this game seems like you could be like top 10 and the prize payout sucks. Like, why is that?
You will never make the investment back on like placing in the top ever.
Yep.
It's just how the game is set up. You'll get some extra merit, you'll get some extra reputation, but you'll never get to spend back. It's more about pride winning.
Yeah, it's more.
Why do they use terminology like win rich?
Because the game originally is a Chinese game.
The oldest AOZ joke in history. Go look at Nikki's videos. Like, I mean, 3 years ago, it's like AOZ headquarters. What are we gonna do? Give them rich rewards, and it's like a
rich rewards. Gotta love those rich rewards.
All right, Roger
yeah,
that,
go check out
man.
my videos if you haven't. The game is originally not originally, but the game is translated from the Chinese language. So obviously the translation it does not have the best translation. So it's how do I say it? You kind of have to play around with the words to figure out what they're trying to say and what it means. But I guess because the rewards are the way that they are, it's because not a lot of people are complaining about it, I guess. I mean, you know, the more you complain, maybe there'll be a change. The same way where a lot of people have been complaining about the T4. Maybe they'll change, you know?
It's the same how the package.
If you want me to spend, make it worth spending.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like if I got to recharge my, you know, my gasoline, if I've got to pay that, then my gas fees are high. If I haven't banked up for an event, it just seems like why don't you reward me for spending, right? Like gas.
Because
they're stuff like that.
I'm not
they do
saying
the
anything.
opposite. That's AOZ. That's every other game rewards you for spending more. AOZ is one of the only games where you literally have a diminishing return for the more you spend.
Yep. And if you're gonna ask us why are we still here, just to suffer? Yes, just to suffer. That's why we're still here, just to suffer. I can't feel my leg.
A bunch of status masochists.
What was the other part of the snake thing? All right, let's see. This is the only game I played, and where the purchases get worse the more. Yeah. Once you start spending, you can't stop. That's the worst part. Because obviously, again,
just buy the first pack or two, and I mean, you can get to the point where you go, okay, don't buy the tier 5, tier 6 packs, whatever. If you just buy the first tier 1 or 2, you won't grow as fast, but the finish line, there is no finish line for this game. I mean,
there's no end game.
I got a hint for you. They'll just move it. So,
level 1 packs only. Yeah, that's fine because again, the game is a marathon. So just take your time. Take your time. Some people can just right off the bat buy the store. That's their ability to be able to do that. Doesn't mean you have to do that. No. Just take your time. Do what you can at your own budget. You know, just play the game how you want to play it. But if you're somebody that, again, you want to be in the strong alliance and do all that, then, you know, budget it out. There's a budgeting. You can budget and be able to have a decent city, you know? I'm not saying the other word, but you know what I mean. All right. Any other questions? Anybody had any question about T4s or anything else you want to talk about? Yeah? Yeah? No?
Appreciate the live stream.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
learned a little bit. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Let's see. I'm on the road. All right, so Flex Nuts is on the road. Background is less ideal, but he hears. We've been fine, Flex Nut. You know, surviving, grinding, fighting against T4s. You know, I've been out of SEC for about 2 months, so I'm playing catch up on the new updates. New update, we got a new officer, classic new drill officer. What else? What else do we get new? That's about it. That's all I know. New officer. You haven't missed much, man. Not much. Not much has changed. Missed you too. So Flexnut is the melee guy. So his build is melee. So everybody knows about mid range and long range. Well, he's the how should I word this? Not the outcast. More like a rebel. Yeah, the rebel. He wants to have a melee build and not be like everybody else. Let's see. Evergen Cholo said that John is gonna be T4. Oh my god.
Is that so?
That's what Cholo says.
I feel like Cholo lies.
Are there T4 shredders? I don't know. I don't pay attention to what troops are T4, to be honest. I say T1. Do you know the supremacy of T1s? T1s are better. I like T1s.
Yeah, there are T4 shredders, by the way. It goes T2 and then T4 shredders.
Yeah, but I prefer T1s.
T1
like
tanks,
T1s.
what's up?
What's up? T1 Axemen's where is that?
What?
Yeah.
The hell are you doing with T1 Axemen?
I have a bunch of them, and if they hit me, they'll be like, I killed her troop, and it's a bunch of T1s.
Why Axemen? Just for
Why
defense?
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Use the tanks for gathering. Come on, T1 tanks the best gathering fleets ever.
Do you think I gather, sir? Do you think I gather? No.
Do dailies, Nikki? Come on.
I've been lazy. I need somebody to do my dailies. Anybody up for the task? Anybody want to do my dailies?
No.
I guess I don't know. I get bored with doing. Not bored. I've been doing other things. Yeah, I've been focused on other things, and I have not been doing my
those
dailies.
cycles of where you're not as into the dailies. I get it.
Yeah, I do my doomsday. That's more important. Get my uranium. C40 is not gonna come in cheap, you know. It's not coming to me if I don't do nothing about it. I see your point. I believe they don't do this for cheating. It would be easy for one to. Oh, okay. That's one of the questions. I guess there's no other questions. I need someone to do mine. Never do it. Oh man, 50 blue coins a week for dailies. 50. What? You want me? You're charging me $50 just to do my dailies? You're one expensive kitten.
Now 50 blue coins, it's like 50 cents, isn't it?
Oh.
It's a cheap ass cat.
All right, cat. I'm coming to your DMs. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's a solid deal.
The solid deal. 50 coins.
Especially somebody said Jen said infinite zombies. That's so much free officer XP and the Titan whatever.
Yeah,
I did it
Jen,
last
do your
time.
daily. Jen. You do it once and then you hit auto. It's the easiest one to do.
Yeah, buy the auto. Sorry, Jen?
I did it last week for the first time in months, and Ryan didn't even believe me.
I never believe you. Never do it. Yours is always sitting there empty. The only one that'll do
it
auto.
can send zombies. You can use your zombies, and you can still be empty.
I did it last week. Already fell off the wagon. I forgot to do it this week.
Whoopsie daisies.
Do it now.
Yeah. So attacking a bunch of monsters and will give you a lot of XP and equipment materials for those who don't do it. You should be doing it. You want to get that free XP? Kill some monsters. Especially level 30. Sorry, what? Oh, Mikey! Hi, Mikey! The drama queen, Mikey, is here. If you guys have not seen my 732 versus 736 video, you should go watch. It's pretty funny. Alright, so any last questions before I close the stream? Yes? No? Yes, Greg. It was great video. Yep. Yep. Worked very hard
Great.
on it.
You did a great job with the video, I have to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was
That's good
amazing.
shit. Good
Happy you guys enjoyed it and liked
Oh, it
it.
was great.
Yeah, I kind of was scared. I was
Did
a
you
little
have
scared.
help?
No, it's all me,
Wow.
all me, baby, all me, and these tiny little baby hands on my phone because I use a phone
And
to edit.
I just found out because I was so focused on driving Woody nuts. But were you the city that was in the alliance called Camera?
Well, duh. Who else would name themselves Camera?
Yeah, but if you noticed that day, everybody was changing their profile pictures.
Oh yeah, to Toy Story.
You know, just I didn't know who anybody was, to be honest, because everybody that day you came in changed their name, because in Woody's Nation they all started putting the same picture of Woody.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
why I
would,
put a Spider-Man me. Oh boy, it's the boy Woody. It's the boy Woody.
yes, and they were changing his name to Woody, which I thought it was kind of weird. And another funny thing was you guys were talking about T4, and I know Woody was really preaching about he hates T4 nations. That whole 736 nation was using T4 the whole entire event. Not Woody's alliance, but the number 2 and number 3 and 4 alliance. They were using T4 the whole entire time. So I thought that was kind of funny. So I saw Woody burning his own nation too when we started hitting them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are still using T4 even though they're saying they're not. So
Yeah, that's what I think Polo was trying to say. If you look in the Woody Discord and you see the list, just make sure that it is a T4 nation, because most people are naming any nation that the Farming Alliance has T4 into a T4 nation, which is, again, to identify a T4 nation. If the Farming Alliance is using it, that's fine. It's the Farm Alliance. Who gives a fuck?
I would say
But
not a
the
T4
main alliance,
nation. I would say a T4 alliances.
Yeah, T4 alliances.
Like, for example, Woody's SPT, I think they are.
Yeah.
None of them use T4 at all, and their shielding was phenomenal. So like his particular alliance was great.
So for me, that Woody's nation is not a T4 nation. I will say that he has alliances that use a T4, but
yes, correct.
let's look at example again, 299, 274. Their main alliance, the people you think you're gonna be fighting, are using T4. That's a T4 nation right there. That's what we call a T4 nation.
Right. Yeah. And now, are they using the T4 strictly on Frenzy or Frenzy and Void?
Who uses
Void.
T4 on Frenzy? During Frenzy, they use it to real troops. Come on, man. During Void.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say numbers because I don't remember, because I play in 7-Eleven also. But there was a Frenzy where we faced it was a 600 nation, and I could not believe everybody was using T4. It was just crazy. They didn't want to give up no points, I guess. I don't know.
So that means that they push. Did they push hard during Frenzy, like the four faces?
Like,
oh
do you not
god.
remember that? Because they were posting on Facebook how awesome they were for beating 219, and it was Frenzy, and they used T4, and we were like, all right,
Who cares?
good job.
Yeah, whatever. Their
There
fake
was-
win.
There was a city that was using I think T4 or T3, T4 shredders or T3. No, T3 are the tanks. So they're using T4 shredders, and they were reinforcing with like 20, 25 cities of just T4 shredders. And the city was almost impossible to beat. I mean, we had a C-38, a C-41, Keltazar, who's a powerful C-41. And he would speed into the city, and the battle meter was starting all the way to like nothing, and they just were reinforcing with 25.
Like 20 million troops.
Oh yeah, he killed. Forget about it. It was millions. But
T-Dog says that you always hold towers with T4. I think that's fine. Hold on, sorry.
That makes sense.
I got a burp. So holding the tower with T4 is fine. I think that's the best way to not bleed points if the enemy attacks your tower. So that's fine. That's fine. The problem is, let's say you go to the tower and it's all T4, like they all reinforce with just T4. But obviously they're not going to do that. They want their tower back. So they are obviously going to fight back with troops. Unless they have the lead. If they're winning, obviously they're just going to use T4s.
Right.
So there's that.
But don't you get points from the Titans and Planes now? I mean,
yeah, you can,
Yeah,
but
it's like 60,000 points. It's really nothing when you compare it.
Yeah, it's minimal,
The
right?
whole thing is basically an exercise in futility. When you really break down the points, I know somebody was talking about it in stream chat. It might have been Johnny, but it's like all this work and all these people recruiting all of these trash ass troops to gain like 250 points. Like, it's literally dick for points. It's so much wasted effort. It's everyone thinking they're really clever and smart, but at the end of the day,
I know.
you're outsmarting yourself, people. Like, it's a waste of fucking time.
please don't
It's
yell at
such
me,
a waste
Ryan.
of time.
What'd you say? Don't
I
yell
said,
at you?
please don't yell at me.
Why? What'd you do?
I don't. I'm gonna mute now. Bye bye.
What? What did you do? Me sure?
I didn't do anything. I was just asking about Titans.
No, that's okay. Oh,
no,
right.
yeah,
You went too rough, right? You gotta be gentle.
Oh no, I'm
Be
fine.
gentle
No,
to the
please
ladies.
don't worry. I grew up in a trailer park. Ryan's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
What does that have to do with anything?
Wait, should I?
Me too. I love trailer parks.
Yeah, me too. They're the best.
It's
Oh
the
my
best
God! Is
barbecue.
that? Are we going back to the cousin thing?
Most confusing
No.
My cousin's
It
hot.
all happens in
Hey,
trailer parks. We
she's
all
got
know
like
this.
3 million. My cousin
Brian
has like
just
3
exhausted a
million
whole lot of those
followers
women
on her
cards.
account.
Oh God! How do you know that?
Brian just exhausted one of his women cards in like 2 seconds.
I don't even know if I should be mad or ask for her phone number.
Back off, man. Back off. Now she's muted.
Easy,
Easy, man. Mute yourself, boy. Calm down. Jen, give him the water bottle. Give him the water bottle. The man's
every
thirsty.
guy wants a trailer park.
Dump that water on him, man. Calm him down.
But me sure.
Y'all are funny as fuck, man. Had a good time
Thank you.
tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for that. But me sure. But yeah, Titans, they do give points, but it's not a lot. However, I think Rye was the one that mentioned it. If you hit the T4 trap solo with just T4 on your side, then it just then it becomes just Titan points, right? You're just getting the Titan points instead of the troop points, but they're not getting your troop points. They're getting your Titan points, and since it's just one Titan, it's nothing for them. But for you, because you hit it yourself, you're getting those Titan points from them because they always need to send their Titans. You get what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, totally. I just wasn't sure how significant the point difference was when you send a whole T4 fleet with your Titans and Planes.
I can break it down like less quickly and crazily, but it's basically if both sides send T4 and Titans and Planes, I think it's 20,000 points per Titan and 20,000 points per plane. And that only kicks in if you kill that plane, right? So the winner, whoever side wins, has a maximum exposure there of 60,000 points gained, which in a like normal T12 or T11 battle, it's a drop in the bucket. I mean, you're scoring millions of points on a normal battle compared to 60,000 points on a T4 battle. It's basically nothing.
Gotcha.
Even if I bring like high level troops versus a T4 trap with Titans and Planes, the T4 troops are not going to kill that many of my troops anyway. So they're maybe going to kill 1,000 troops, which at the point levels, depending on what event you're playing, it's only going to be like 100,000 points, 60,000 points, somewhere in there. So it's so much wasted effort versus the payout that you get for it.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I've messed around with my T4 farm and during Void and yeah, definitely wasted effort.
I mean, it is points positive, so there's something to be said for anytime you can be points positive. That's great. It's just how much time are people spending, to do this stuff? Like you're literally better off just finding one decent target with your regular troops, as opposed to 8 hours of T4 traffic.
Gotcha.
Well, Barry is an expert against T4 Nation, right, Barry? Or you can't talk right now?
Barry hates T4s more than I do.
Oh yeah. No.
They're all the T4s, especially with the farms, are also good. Like this past Void, we went up against Woody, and I literally, when Woody was literally teleporting everywhere, I literally brought one of my farms and I put it right in his hive spot, the whole event. So I took his spot and I literally drove them insane. And he even said it on his podcast. He's like, what drove me crazy is I was using so many speeds, you know, to try to catch, you know, like farms or certain cities. I mean, both C41s, and I shared it with you, Nikki, but I didn't share all of them. I think it was a combined like 28 hits, and they all were speed 5-tap attack hits between Woody and the other C41, and they got nothing.
They get nothing. Yeah, it's like
at least when I say 28, I might be. I shared a few with Nikki, but every time Woody and the other K138, the other C41 attacks, they speed, they 5-tap attack, and they use speed in all of them. I mean, they're like rocket ships. It's like 5 fleets just launching into your city. So one of the hits, I think it was, I don't know if it was Woody or the other C41, one of the T3, T4 troops came back, and it was a small fleet. And, you know, it hit it, so they must have thought like, and then a few people sped in at the same time thinking like, oh, we got him, there's troops in there. And on the report, like I said, it might have been like 128,000 T3, T4 troops. And they're much quicker to heal too. So I immediately like healed whatever was left and continued to, you know, to attack and torment them and have them waste all their speeds. So that does work a lot, especially when you're going up against like guys like Vegas and Woody, those really big monsters. They're going to speed, and they're going to speed with 5 fleets. So like Woody caught a city in a C-35 with 1.8 million battle power. And for whatever reason, he was in like the 4th Alliance, and he's an R5. And I don't know if he just timed the shield wrong, and Woody saw him, Woody went next to him, and literally sent 10 fleets into his city. And the guy sold the city. Let's put it that way.
Ooh.
The next day.
We don't talk about the S word.
Oh.
You guys are the worst.
Guy, actually, no. He let his friend use it, actually. So you're gonna spend.
Like, I knew it was gonna
recruiting.
come. I knew that word was gonna come, you know, and I was trying to stop you. But it's okay. Yeah, I get it. So yeah, he quit the game. He quit the game.
He quit. Yes.
Yeah,
Nick could read it too. Camel could read it on the chat.
It's
He said,
fine.
"I'm
It's
leaving the
fine.
game."
We're already way
Sorry.
too far off for them to see this, anyways. My problem is not Camel. It's not Camel per se. My problem is Facebook, the Facebook groups. So I don't want to get banned on another Facebook group. Okay, I'm not trying to get banned again.
But yeah, the T4 troops could come in handy outside of just reinforcing, without a doubt.
I mean,
Definitely.
Depending the strategy, you can so different strategies against those type of nations that you don't have that many whale players and they have a bunch of C40s. I mean, for you guys, 732, you play well at what I saw. I just wish there were more group attacks, but then again, you couldn't do it because if Woody and the K guy came in on that defense, if you went to an attack or if you did a trap, it would have been game over for you guys. You would have lost your lead. So yeah, you played smart. You played it smart. So that was the best thing to do. Like, just do a bunch of solo attacks.
I asked you guys a question because a lot of you guys play in the older nations and you guys have many more years playing. I feel like as 700 nations, as we're getting stronger, we're getting better. The voids are not as action packed. Like I feel like the shielding discipline is becoming better for the players that are that quit or they move on from the game. But the ones that keep growing their cities, I feel like the nations are they're getting smarter finally. Which means a boring void. Okay.
It'll ebb and flow a little bit. You'll find some nations that are weaker than others or better with shield deployment than others. But in general, I mean, think about it. If you're a terrible shielder and you get your ass pounded,
right, you're not going to survive.
At what point are you going to call it a day and just stop playing? Right, like all the older nations, a lot of those bad players, they just leave or they
leave. Right.
Times,
Well, the worst ones never leave. The ones you burn.
100%. You still have plenty of those.
You still have those? Oh wow!
3 months.
Oh yeah, guys. Listen. If you have a really bad player and you have burned him many times and you tell him to quit the game, homeboy will not quit, or homegirl, whoever. They will not quit at all. They will live. They will literally live in your nation chat spamming in your nation chat. There's those types that will spam the living. They will spam every day on the nation chat. No matter what you do, their city is dead. The city is dead, but they at least have a city to post spam in the nation chat and to just send a bunch of blah 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 messages. Then you have the alliances that you burn that will, if your shield drop, they will zero you. Like they're hiding they don't have a lot of people with high BP, so they only have like one fleet or two, but they have enough to go against your alliance. Meaning, if one of your weaker players shield drop and he's a really fat player, yeah, they'll go and hit him. And no matter what you do, you burn their flags, you burn their cities, they stay there. They will not quit. They will just stay. They will not quit until they zero everybody. Even if they zero everybody in your alliance, they will still not quit.
Wow.
Those are people with a mission.
Yep.
Wow.
Some orders will go years. I mean, there was a guy in my nation that this last void, he had been shielded for 3 years, probably, like through civil wars. He was like 70 million BP, never let the shield drop, and then boom, 8 million troops just got murdered in void. And you're like, it's just a matter of time. If somebody doesn't fight, if they don't fight and they just grow BP, that's all. They're eventually alive.
Those are well known.
Yeah.
The day that those cities that you find that the shield never drops and it's just the BP keeps increasing, just bookmark that city. Just bookmark it. And every day, just check.
He's been for 3 years because I've been trying to murder his ass for 3 years.
The day will come. The day will come. The day will come when that shield will drop and you will just kill it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember in 52 there was the city that it's
52. Wow.
Well, I used to be back then. I used to be in 52. Well, actually, no. Back then, when
wait a minute.
I started in Nation 85. I started in Nation 85, and then Nation 85 got merged into Nation 81, and then Nation 81 got merged into 99, which is Mishir's Nation, and I did not like 99, so I decided to move to 52. I moved to 52, and now I'm in 269. So, anyway, the story is, in 52, there's this guy who's been shielded for like probably 3 or 4 years, maybe, and all he has been doing is collecting BP. One day, the shield did drop. But what happened? Somebody sent a fleet. They did not speed fast enough, and the guy popped a shield. But apparently, we learned that there are, how do you call it? Emulators? That whenever the city feels there's an attack, it will pop a shield automatically.
Yeah. Really?
Apparently, there's those things. Those things do exist. So, yeah, apparently that guy had that, and no matter how fast we could go, the shield would have popped. So, I mean, would have can't come up. So, yeah, it was a sad day. It was a really sad day. We could have had him. Yeah. But you were saying, Mikey? Crazy. What were you saying?
No, it's crazy you guys are saying that because the 700 nations, I'm in 711 and 732, and they're both maybe approaching the 2-year mark soon. So we've had those cities like we call them the bloated cities, with the and they don't do nothing, and a lot of they're shielded all the time, but I've noticed a lot of them do disappear and quit the game. Or the city finally gets hit in void by a monster, and then the city just becomes a dead city. But you're telling me that these people stick around still, and you guys have been playing a lot longer than I have, so that's kind of a scary thought.
Not more of a scary, more like an annoyance.
No, yeah, completely annoying.
The people that build up BP for 3 years and then get housed, they're the ones that quit. They're the ones that always quit because they've been building BP forever. Now they get blown up. They're 10 million BP. Their game is done. They leave. It's the people that get burned every 3 months. Those are the ones that stick around.
Those are the people that are extremely annoying because you could, and I'm a fighter. I'm like a top 10 scorer. So you could score 400, 500, 600, 800, 900 million, a billion points. But if you have 2 or 3 cities that are bloated, with 30, 40 million, and they get hit, it's like almost all you're spending 16 hours playing nonstop to score hundreds of millions of points are out the door just like that.
Yep.
Especially in that size, nation where you haven't been merged twice yet, probably, right? Just once?
Well, two times.
You've gotten twice. Okay, so that starts to get into higher scores. But yeah, especially I felt like early on the scores are pretty low. So like one large castle getting hit like that, like losing 6 million troops or something, can be the difference in a void early on.
Yeah.
Right.
And that can cause civil wars, and we already had a topic about civil wars. LT show says yes, bots are yes, yeah. We know that farming bots are real. I know they're real. I just didn't know at the time when that happened. I didn't know that there was a thing where those emulators can pop up a shield for you. Like you don't even have to log in; it will just do it for you. So I didn't know that was a thing. I knew about farming bots. I knew about that because back then when people had 50 to 60 farms, they used that to farm, obviously. Mr. Salmon, has anyone got reward from inviting someone? Seems like a bug. When I started, I have never invited anyone. Either way, I would never invite anyone that I know in real life to come to this game. I would not. No. It's kind of like it's a little embarrassing because like I spend so much in this game and I don't want my mom or anybody to know because it's like, what the fuck are you doing, Nikki? Why are you spending so much in this stupid game? I'm like, don't shame me for it. So yeah, I don't use that link. So has anybody used those things? Like, have you linked? Do you know in the game there's like, oh, if you share a link, you get a reward. And if people like make a city. Have you ever done those?
Oh no, but I mean, I think about it. It would have been smart to do that early on because there's a ton of people
early on, but at this, at this point, the way we are is like, yeah,
do this to my friends.
I don't wish this upon nobody.
Friend, yeah.
Hey, true story, man. So when I first started this game, I got put into City into 157, and it was an old world, and nobody believed me. They thought I was like a farm, and I should have been like in a much higher city. It was a glitch in the game, and everybody's like, "You should just quit and go to another like world." And so you have to be cognizant of all the different bugs in this fucking algorithm, like where they drop you and what world you're in, because really, you played for 2 years or 3 years in the world, and you think you're playing with, people that have already been in that world, but sometimes you end up playing with somebody that just got dropped in there by accident.
So you started the game and they put you in Nation 157?
That's correct.
Like recently?
No. I've been playing about 2 years. So that's why I'm only a C30. But like in my world, like you have to be like C35 or C36 to be competitive. So
what name was new?
I'm actually growing. I'm actually growing in one of the farm alliances for one of the top tiers. So I don't get picked on so much. But yeah, I'm probably 2 years retarded for where I should be. Right? Yeah.
I think at that point you should have went to the 1000s and started fresh.
No, that's what that was the advice. But I was like, fuck that. I already started buying packs. I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
But yeah.
So I would rename myself to 2 years retarded right now.
I am retarded. I'm a glutton for punishment, man. I'm like, fuck that. I don't, it's just, I keep building and keep growing, but it's like really tough
because. How did that happen? How do you join the game and it throws you to 157?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
No, it happened. And they thought that I was just like some farm talking shit. And so I learned not to go into, like world chat. So I just stay in the Alliance chat. But yeah, it just sucks because, you're so disadvantaged. But
yeah, you spend too much time like barking up the wrong tree. And
yeah.
Okay, actually, guys, a question about disadvantage. So supposedly, I'm in Nation 732. We're playing Nation, I believe, 437 for Frenzy. Mm-hmm. I find that to be insane. Like, I was looking, they have 41 cities that are like C37 and above. For, I guess, the 400 Nation, that sounds okay. But against the 700 Nation, that's kind of crazy.
Frenzy.
Nah.
It depends. Somebody else might be talking. Sorry, go ahead.
Hello?
No, I was just saying 437
Oh,
is
it's
top five.
Barry, take off the scuba tank and
God
join
damn,
us.
Barry, if you're ordering food, just be muted. Okay. Anyways, guys.
Yeah.
It's 354 merge, but I've gone all the way down to face Nation 2. And I think the highest I've faced is like Nation 400s, maybe. So there's like a 300 nation swing there. You'll get higher swing in Battle Frenzy for sure. Void shouldn't be as big of a swing. I always say there's sort of pros and cons to both sides, right? Like older nations are going to have higher average strength. They just will, right? The castles have been around longer. They've been built longer. They've had more time to build everything up, but they oftentimes have less participation.
Sure.
So like, they're not going to be as populated. There's not going to be as many people in a lot of the battles. There may be fatter cities.
Also,
there may be more
isn't it weird that everything, you said all the cities are C37s and above, or is it just C37 and under?
I saw 41 C37 and above. Yeah.
So there's only one 41?
There might have been a 40. I don't know if there was a 41. There might have been like 2 or 3 C40s, 39s, a lot of 38s, and a lot of 37s.
Okay, so your
35 to
disadvantage is
36
T12
seem to be the competitive
disadvantage.
cities in most of these worlds.
Right.
I mean, it's Frenzy, so...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
No, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
You know, we're a strong nation. We've been winning a lot. I mean, you know, so I'm assuming when you win, they're gonna give tougher opponents. I'm assuming.
I mean,
sort of, yeah.
80% of the time. 80% of the time. No, actually, no. 10% of the time. The 80% of the time is they spin the wheel.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get who? Or the little hat with the little papers. They just shake the hat and then just take out a paper. Okay, we're putting these two together.
It really is pretty hard though when you think about it. Everyone's merging at different times. You're gonna have vastly differently sized nations. Plus their records are gonna be different. Plus their strength is gonna be different. For Frenzy, it's like it's like learn another way to win. You know, like be able to win against a nation that's exactly like you. Be able to win versus a nation that's older than you. Be able to win versus a nation that's younger than you. You just pick up all the small nuances and ways to beat them. You can't just necessarily line up and go
Right. And what's scary about this game is
how do you know their strategies are T4s, right? Like,
well, as I mentioned before, you don't. The way to find out, you can check the Discords, you can check the Facebooks, or you can go into their nation chats, and you will see if they post their past reports. You can check their past alliance reports. Sometimes it will show, they were using T4 because they're boasting like, haha, look at him, he hit my trap, and it's a bunch of T4s. Or you can check in their nation. Sometimes their leadership will send a paragraph of things like, so and so better have T4s, blah blah blah, T4 this, T4 that. So those are other ways to figure it out. But most of the times, if you go into the Discords, there's a lot of Discords in this game. Like there's mine, Woody's, there's Barry's, the main Age of Origin Discord. Like those more public that has more nations into them. You can always ask, hey, has anybody played against this nation? Are they T4? And sometimes somebody will come in and will tell you yes or no. So that's another way to know who's a T4 nation. But yeah, it's once you know who you're getting, right at that moment, you need to research that. You need to figure out that before it's too late,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question. But yeah, what we were talking about again?
What's saying?
Size nation 700.
Yeah.
Hookers and blow. I thought. Oh, wait, this ain't the 80s. Sorry.
Trailer parks and cousins. Let's never forget trailer parks and cousins. Yes.
That's right.
Don't forget the cousin.
Third cousin.
Still a cousin.
He sounded like he was concerned about 437.
No, I was more concerned because the gentleman before was talking about just how the Iraq they could just put you in any nation. So I was thinking the same thing with Frenzy, like that they just randomly put you up against any nation, because I just found it odd that we're going against the 400 nation.
Yeah, are you facing 437 though?
I mean, one of the guys said his rep told him earlier today that we were facing 437.
Barry, you know 437?
437 is gonna be a cakewalk for y'all.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Hooray!
There you go. All right.
They're very
Thank you.
unorganized, and they're just not good, man.
We're extremely organized, so that'll work well with us. Very good.
I don't think I wore a shield against them during an
What?
actual board.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
mean, I
I'm
think
very
we pretty
excited.
good, though.
Appreciate that.
Well,
But I want to say, listen. So one of our old monsters, right? He left the nation. I think when his city was just turning C40, he spent a ton of money. He just, he took a break, so he wanted to come back, and he was looking for something C39 or higher. So we were just a fairly new merged nation, so nobody really was selling. So he decided to start over, and he's in nation 1166. So he's been there for a few weeks, and he has big pockets. He's already a C30. His Titans, his officers are already at almost 2 million. It's like 1.8 million already in like 3 weeks. And it's, I feel like these brand new nations, they're spending at a much higher rate than even the middle.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's insane. Like I'm looking at all these brand new 1100 nations, and they got C30, C28s already.
You want to say it, me, sure?
And that's how I feel about the 400, the 200 nations and the 400 nations. I mean, they're meeting these huge levels. It's so fast, and it took when I started the game. Geez,
I have an answer for that.
You know, to get to C29 even, and I think it's just these monsters are jumping nations, and they're just dumping money into these accounts, so they can just go on a killing spree.
Yeah. So to answer that, why back then it used to be much harder for us to level up, and these nations are much faster. You gotta see that now you have bets. You have us who give advice and tell people what to buy and what not to buy. You also there's different packs now. So when you start a new nation, you have these deal off type of packs that will give you a lot of things, like a bang for your buck, but they'll give you a lot to start off. So these newer nations have a bigger advantage in starting off than what we did back then.
Yep.
Because back then there was I think there was a YouTube guy back then, but he didn't say much about advice wise and what to do and how to grow. Yeah. So now there's more people giving advices. There's more discords. Back then there was not that many discords. There was hardly any discords. And Facebook was not that much. Actually, Facebook wasn't even that much helpful. It was just like, hey, who's here, who's not.
There was no VIPs.
Yeah. There was no VIP. Those deals that you have when you start a city, like, oh, you get 8 sales, or there's pandas. Yeah, you guys, the newer nations, they got the good deals when you're starting off. You're getting them good deals. Back then, we didn't even have those good deals. What we have back then, you get a star on your panda and a star on your sales. That's like the one.
I've seen it. Some of those deals, like they'll get 10 like panda frags, like for like $4.99.
Yeah,
like for $4.99, you have panda unlocked from day one, which is crazy. Oh, okay.
And sales.
Sense.
And the benefits cards. There's a lot of stuff that they have advantage. Now, they're also just spending a ton of money. So I don't know. I mean, like, I've been hearing that sentiment that, like, oh, these new nations are crazy. I've been hearing that since probably the 400s, as Meatshirt said, like, oh man, these new nations are crazy. It all sort of evens out, because most of the time the fun of being a whale when you're in a new nation compared to, like, once you max out, everyone's catching up with you.
Yeah,
basically.
It's true.
So, like, if you look at whales that were in the first 100 nations, it's not that huge of a difference. If you're a nation 1100 and you're a whale, you're literally just slapping everybody without even thinking about what fleets to send. It's a lot of fun. It's not as much fun when people can actually kill you. They can defend.
It's true.
A lot of those whales leave after a couple of months or like a year.
Gotcha.
Well, so
Gotcha.
like we talked about this kind of recently, the fact that they do spend differently, I think, than we did. But they have everything that we didn't. Like, when we started, the Titans didn't exist, and we didn't have all the officers, and the planes didn't exist. And like they're coming in, and all this crap exists at once. So they're able to just like berserk all their money in every direction at once and build all of this shit at once. Whereas we didn't even have all this
And
stuff.
don't forget, uranium is still kind of new. Uranium wasn't a thing back then.
Yep.
And the plane, right?
The plane's like brand new.
The six
Yeah, sure. 'Cause
stars.
even
I mean, literally, when I started, there was equipment and officers.
There was no drill.
What? No, it was equipment and officers. Those were the things that improved your stats. There was no 6 stars, so unworldly skills were not.
And there was no Saki. Saki didn't exist.
There was
so
no Saki.
Either you were using Morgan and Godfather for that fleet expansion, or Morgan and Brave Star.
I have a level 55 Brave Star to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Godfather, wow.
Yeah, some people who wanted that fleet expansion, they will slap on Godfather for that extra fleet boost because Saki did not exist. That was what it was back then.
Only
Right,
other
that makes
fleet
sense.
expansion. Yeah.
Love that Godfather. Godfather.
R.I.P.
I don't
to
even think he's
Godfather.
purple. I don't think Godfather's even purple.
He's blue.
No, he's blue.
He is.
Yeah.
He's blue.
He's blue.
It was the only other fleet expansion officer.
Mhm.
There was Morgan gave you the one, and then he was the other one. Nobody
And
else.
I
gave
bet you everybody in World Globe 1 to Globe 2, everybody has their Morgan beat breakthrough skill to max level, because nobody knew at the time that how much it is crap, how much it sucks, because nobody uses rallies anymore.
No, there was nothing else to spend those frags on.
Yeah,
Remember?
that too, but there was no 6 stars. Yeah, you're
There was
right.
no 6 stars,
Oh,
so
yeah.
there was nothing else to do with them. And there was no
forgot the islands do, too.
select one skill. Do you remember originally when you re-rolled, when they launched the 6-star skills, when you re-rolled those officer frags, they just disappeared. There was no select one skill. So if you got 100 frags, you couldn't pick a single S skill. If you got 300, you couldn't pick a double S. All that metrics
I
came in
remember
later.
the day they added that update, a lot of people were pissed.
I lost thousands and thousands of frags that had already been
Yep.
re-rolled. Yeah, we got
Oh,
nothing.
Yep, me
Wow.
too. I hated that.
Yep. So all that
Wow.
the point is all that stuff was like, no one told us that Camel was going to update all this shit and we would lose a bunch of money doing it early.
Wow.
So
There was
guys
no events like
definitely
there is now. Level
Yeah.
P30 was the highest. Back when I started in 30 World,
Yep.
like 5
Yep.
years ago, man. Like none of this crap was out there. So
Yeah.
building a C30 took like almost like 9 months or a year, man. Like
Oh yeah, it took
Wow.
forever to throw that.
And this
any
guy
of the
just
crap
did it in
y'all-
3 weeks, and he just did it in 3 weeks.
Easy.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
you said, like, there was like, you had your normal officers, right? None of these extra drill masters, none of that stuff existed, man.
There were no drill masters. Yep.
Yeah, none of that. And like you had to wait forever and a day to get like Void was introduced, right? There was none of this Chaos Land.
Oh yeah,
none of
because
this,
it used to be
none of that free
kill
to play.
event that lasted
None
3
of that.
days against.
Yeah,
So
3-day
it was your
KE.
Yeah, it was
nation.
like 3
Yeah.
days. Yeah.
Oh, I
And then-
missed the 3-day KE. That was so fun.
You know what we
The game
call those now?
transitioned-
Purge days.
Yeah.
That's when you start
Yeah.
purging
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
Void.
Free to play.
I forgot about that. The island too. The island didn't exist.
Oh
But yeah, so,
my!
like, it
We
seems
don't
like
talk
these
about
new
the
monsters are
island.
insane, because the new monsters kind of are, but it's because they're able to come in and like just buy all this shit at once, whereas we
Mhm.
didn't even have it existing. So
You
like,
could kill 30 worms a day for 3 days. It was 30 worms today, 30 worms
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Oh,
I was
we-
talking to somebody about this. I'm like, do you remember when worms were limitless? And they're like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and remember when they do give a lot of speeds?
They gave
Yeah.
They
so
used to
Yep.
give so
Hundred
much
speed.
speed.
And we had crushers.
Oh, the
yes,
crushers.
I had hundreds
Yeah.
of
Oh,
crushers.
they took them away to optimize them
I
and never gave
feel
them back.
old. You guys are making me feel old.
All gave away speeds. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah.
you could
That'll
kill
never happen
endless
again.
amount of worms, and you can stack
Well,
up so
Tolo-
much speeds from them.
it was awesome.
We still have what's in the bag, Tolo. They never gave them back, like as far as like the ability to get them again.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but they still pop up. I'm like, how do you still have these? Where are
Because
these still
people
coming
save
from?
bags. People save those the fragments or the.
Which is
the-
ridiculous. How do you save that crap?
No, I'm not using it.
It's been years.
Well, people like to say, it's like an antique. They saving it for, you know.
If I still had like I even have old cities, right? If even though the city's been burnt off the map, right? If I log back into that city, it brings the city back, and all my shit's still in my bag. And I just got like a full hospital, but all my crap's still there.
Yeah. Yeah, crushers.
So then that's where
Man.
people are pulling this most likely from is when they just pull Dead City back. It could be 3 years from now, and you can log back into it, and it's like brand new again, other than being filled with dead troops. Your bag's the same. All
Well,
that shit's the same.
RIP to the worms. Back then, they were so good. Now it's all about dinos, and dinos are not that good. Dinos still suck. To this day, they're still bad. To this day.
I'm just saying today we finished Zombie Uprise and somebody fired up a crusher, and I was like, how is that still possible?
It's such a morale boost when somebody busts out a crusher, bro.
It's like, oh man, remember that? Nostalgia. Back then, the crushers. And remember
they sounded
when,
so optimistic
when you were
they
whenever
took them away just to optimize them, and then they never gave them back.
And also remember that back then we were much weaker than we were before. So you had to get people to rally up to that crusher. You couldn't go by yourself, regardless. But you were
the same with worms.
Yes. And worms.
That's when you learn the time attacks on worms.
Yes, or
yes,
rally.
that was practice.
That was fun.
Yes, use the worms to to time attack, to practice the time attack. Yeah. And then now it's all about speed. Yeah. How things change.
It was like max back then. It kind of like, okay.
Well, thanks everybody. I'm going to drop and appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Haters.
What a good note to end the stream. Yeah, nostalgia. Back
That was
then. Back in 2020 or 2019 is when the game started. I don't remember. I came in on 2020, right when COVID hit.
Yeah, I started 2019, I think. I think it was. Yeah, August.
Yeah, we've been playing way too long. Well, anyways, thank you everybody for joining. I hope the stream was helpful. I hope if you ever go against a T4 nation, you got it. You got the tips and tricks on how to defeat them. I hope you wrote it down in a note. But yeah, don't lose against them because it sucks. Sucks to lose against a T4 nation. So beat them, shame them, like Polo will say, shame them. But yeah, next stream next month coming schedule will be on the Discord. I might stream. Well, the month is almost over anyway, so I might not stream, but who knows? But yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Have a good night.
Thank you, Nikki. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
It was fun.